Scott and I have this joke. If you look on my Instagram and on my TikTok, a lot of these videos have gone viral, over 3 million views on one of them.
I have Rachel here. Hi, Rachel. How are you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Just give an introduction about yourself and your photography to those people watching.
My name's Rachel Lietzke, and I am an amateur photographer. And I own an aircraft salvage company. We also have another company that makes educational training aids for aircraft mechanic schools. Basically, my boyfriend is in the airshow industry, and I really got into taking photos of everyone flying, mainly him. I've always been into photography. It was more so in the car show industry prior to that, and it just kind of blew up from there.
Do you have any hobbies that you enjoy outside of photography?
Outside, I enjoy flying and working on airplanes. I'm rebuilding a Cessna 152. I ride dirt bikes. I'm also
Wow.
a mom to an almost 14-year-old and a 5-year-old. I have another side project for a website for people to buy and sell airplane parts on called Hanger Swap. I love to exercise. I like doing everything.
You're super mom, pretty much.
Yes, losing my mind.
Do your kids do photography too?
Yeah,
Your older one?
so my 13-year-old's really gotten into it, and he takes really good pictures, and I was so surprised. I had given him my Nikon D3000, which I had got for a senior present when I graduated high school, and I just ordered him 400 millimeter lens, but then he just keeps stealing mine because I have a bigger lens, and he actually has a really good eye, and I'm super proud of him. He has like his own little Instagram, and he posts his pictures, and I teach him how to do edits and stuff too. So
Yeah, we have the Miramar Air Show here in San Diego. I don't know if you've ever been to that one
I have not.
before.
We normally stay on the East Coast.
And you're in Florida, just for everybody watching. Is
Yes,
that correct?
hot
Okay.
Florida. It's really hot right now.
Well, let's not keep everybody waiting. I know they're eager to see some of these pictures. I'll share the picture showcase. I picked one of the ones you sent me.
Okay.
1 second. There is a lot going on here in this photo.
And you know what? That actually was taken on my DJI Osmo 3. And I was doing video at that time, and it also takes photos. And DJI, it blew my mind. The clarity and the accuracy it was able to get with the shutter speed. So that is the night show at Sun and Fun, which is an air show here in Lakeland. It's west of Orlando. For all the people who don't really know Florida, the night show is insane. It puts Disney, like any of the Disney fireworks, to shame because they have drones and stuff that come out. It's hundreds of drones. They come out and they turn into like these figures or like a robot. And then they'll do airplanes. Wow. And they'll make it move. They had an A-10, and then they had pyro make it like shoot. It was, and oh, blew my mind. Had like an F-22 or something like that landing on an aircraft carrier with drones. And then we also have airplanes that go through that also are shooting off fireworks. The night show is a giant thing for all the photographers. I loved how that kind of turned out, how it was all just going crazy. If you see the smoke that's in the middle, that's an airplane going across. So someone's flying through like the show line, and he's behind the show line, but it looks like he's flying through. It really gives the crowd this crazy depth perception. It psychs them out.
That's be super scary for the pilots to be flying in the middle of a drone show with fireworks going off everywhere.
So that's exactly what they want you to think. It looks like they're flying through it, but they're really not. But we also have airplanes that shoot off fireworks from like their wings and stuff. That is really cool. I know a couple guys that do that, the Redline Air Show guys, and they have inside cockpit cameras so you can see it shooting out as they're flying.
Do they have a DJ or like music synced to the show?
Oh, too? Yeah. So music is blasting, and each performer kind of has their own songs, but there's a DJ that has music in between it. So it's a giant thing to put on. And everyone practices all year round. Like, this is years in advance of preparing for something like this. I want to say the night show is about 30 to 45 minutes long, and you don't want to look down. So you better have your camera and everything, all the settings ready and on your tripod and ready to go, because it's amazing.
This happens every year.
Yeah, and so at Sun and Fun, it's on Wednesdays and Saturday nights, and then there's the largest air show, which is next week. It's called Oshkosh, and it's in Wisconsin, and they have one on Saturday night. They do one that's probably a little bit bigger, but they're pretty equal in like the wow factor.
Are you going to that one, by the
Yes.
way?
Yeah, we fly up there and we're going to be there all week long. And my boyfriend will be performing a couple of the days. And we see clients and do photo shoots in the air. Basically, it's a chance where everyone can get together to do night shoots or day shoots, air-to-air shoots. Photography is a really big thing in the industry. And then there's performances and all the vendors from all over the world. It's hundreds of thousands of people.
What does your boyfriend fly, or what is his most used
He
aircraft or
he
whatever?
flies a P-51 Mustang. It's a 1945 P-51D model
Does he enjoy
for all the
that, or he
geeks.
also wants to move to the new stuff eventually?
No, no. So his dad and him restored this aircraft for longer than a decade, and he soloed in it at 20 years old and has been performing in it ever since. So it's
That's incredible.
yeah, Quicksilver is our baby.
All right, well, let me get your next picture here. Feel the need for speed. I feel
Ooh,
the
yes.
motion with this one.
That is one of my favorite airplanes. So Scott and I have this joke, and if you look on my Instagram and on my TikTok, a lot of these videos have gone viral, over 3 million views on one of them. And there's a joke between I love the P-40, which that's a P-40, and he loves the P-51, and he obviously has one. So it's like been this rival where I'm always messing with him.
Hey, woman, get back to work.
I don't see any P-40s here.
They're all buried in Walnut Ridge, Arkansas, where they belong.
It's turned into this whole thing at air shows for people to mess around with him. And that's a longtime friend of ours, Tom Richard, and American Dream is the name of it. This was at the Monroe Air Show in North Carolina. But what's really cool is everyone flies a really low show. So there's a lot of trees in the background, so you can really have the airplane pop out of the photo. This is something I've always been working on. It's called panning. You follow the airplane and you want to stay in a certain frame so that the prop still kind of looks like it's spinning, but the airplane itself is solid and everything behind it looks blurry.
Well, this is a older plane than the P-51, right? P-40, just because the
It's
number
a
is lower.
So it's
Yeah.
it's a little older. This is what everyone always argues about, which one's better. And the thing is, the P-40 set up the war for the P-51. The P-51 came in and saved the day because it was like so much faster and its distance could go further as a fighter.
In the final months of the war in Europe, almost 2,000 Mustangs protected the American heavy bombers. Such protective shield proved almost impossible for the Luftwaffe to penetrate. Bomber losses plummeted and Germany's cities and industries were systematically devastated by the American strategic bombing campaign. With the fighters knocking down every German plane they saw in the sky and the bombers pulverizing Germany's war industry on the ground, the Allied forces were virtually unopposed in the air.
But the P-40 is the one who like kept us all going during World War II in the beginning. It's just always man, it just looks so mean, and I don't know. I always joke around like I am the darkness, and that to me is like it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't love the little shark face, right? At the front of
Yeah,
the plane.
it's the iconic look, and you see it on so many things. It's very marketable. But I would be terrified if that was coming at me, and I would be crapping my pants. Need to wear my Lucky
Yeah.
Depends that day.
Well, quick question for you before we look at the next picture. What is your ultimate goal with photography? It's almost like a side thing for you. Do you want to ever get more professional, or do you have any goal with photography?
So I'm an artist at heart. Like my grandma gave me a Polaroid camera when I was 9 years old. And both my grandfathers were into photography, and my grandfather was also a pilot. So a lot of the photos that were hanging around the house were of airplanes and like at Oshkosh, and my aunt was into it. And I also like for a short period of time went to school for art. My dad's like, there's no money in art. You know, I went to school for air traffic control and now I do aircraft salvage. So, I love getting away from my life. My life is so hectic and there's so many things happening all the time, so that when I'm behind my camera and I'm not the focal point of everyone's questions, mommy, boss, significant other. There's so much to juggle constantly. It's more of a release for me. It's more of how I can express myself. People have bought pictures from me, and I was just
Oh, that's
recently
cool.
published, but I don't want to do it professionally. It's just something I really love. Maybe when I retire. But I don't know. You never know in this life. Everything's temporary.
That's fair.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at your next photo. Another panner, right? This is panning.
Okay, so this is such a special picture. The person in the front seat is my son, and that's his
Oh,
second flying lesson in the Piper Cub, and he'll be the fourth generation pilot in my family. I have photos on my phone from his first lesson, but this one I broke out my camera and like chased him around, and that to me was just like my moment of I made it as a mom in my life, and he loves it. He's not scared of it. So.
he looks super excited. No, he's very focused in
Oh
that
yeah,
picture.
that is his thing. He has this giant computer that Scott got him, that he does flight simulators, and he's part of some thing on Roblox where they do formation flying, and he's the lead. He loves flying.
Interesting.
Yeah. So.
People get crazy with those flight simulators. They have custom setups and they take up like whole rooms of the house. I've seen a lot of stuff on Reddit that people really get into that stuff.
So I sell fuselages. I don't believe in the word scrap around here. I try really hard to find ways to repurpose a lot of stuff. Like if you go to Disney Springs and you go to the hangar bar, all the airplane parts and everything in there is from us. All the Star Wars rides, all the airplane parts that you see laying around there are all fast aviation. But I sell leftover fuselages and people turn them into simulators. So
Oh, cool. So you're supporting the industry. That's great.
oh yeah, all different types of. If you're into airplanes, I'm your girl. We have a flight simulator here in our office because we just moved here a couple months ago. So we're gonna set it up, and it's got the rudder pedals and all that. We're a bunch of dorks here. We'll be on our breaks flying the simulator.
Well, this picture definitely looks like your panning is getting better. And so good
Yeah.
job. All right, I'll get your next one. Oh, see with the black and white direction
Mm-hmm.
for this one.
That's Quicksilver. Yeah, so that's Quicksilver there. I'm a sucker for really harsh black and white. I tend to like do more artsy, emotional type of editing. I grew up like doing modeling and acting, and I would go through all the Vogue magazines, the big magazines with all the artsy models and all their crazy photo shoots. I try to incorporate that into a lot of my pictures. So this is another really good panning, and you can see how the prop is still swooshing. It's the perfect pan.
Yeah, it is very sleek, and the
Yeah.
stars on the wings in the back just pop out.
Mm-hmm.
at
That's
you.
like what I was trying to go for. She's black and silver, and so a lot of times she washes out if you have a white background, which she has a white background there, but it's different. There's two colors there. It's monochromatic. I don't know.
The pilot looks like it's hunched over, really bracing, going hard
Yeah,
here.
yeah. They all look like that when they're going around. They're like,
Well, I don't see why you knocked your panning. It looks like you're doing a pretty good job with your panning to me.
thanks.
We have a couple more.
With this photo, I didn't want to show the whole airplane. And this is one of the guys that was one of the first people to buy photos from me. He loved how I did the edits, and just with the red, and it has a wooden prop, and everything was so immaculate on this airplane. The engine and everything was like, if it was supposed to be shiny, it was shiny. If it was supposed to be black, it was pitch black. There was no chips, no nothing. You just couldn't stop staring at it. He was taxiing by when I was looking in the viewfinder, like just looking at it. I can't explain it. You see it freeze in your mind in the frame when you're taking the photo, it just brings out the artistic form of an airplane, and a radial engine with a wooden prop, biplane. It's all the things, and it's red and black. Ah, I love it.
You wouldn't even know that that's an engine. It just looks like a bunch of pipes or something like that sticking out.
Yeah, that guy got it printed, and it's hanging in his house, and he loves it. I love it. And again, when you see it in your camera, and you're like, oh, it looks like a good picture, and then you get it on your computer and you're just like, oh, that looks like crap. It's not the way you thought it would look like. This one, when I pulled it up on my computer, I was just like, blah, my mind was blown, and I'm like, I can't believe I took this. Especially if you're an aviation geek, you just feel it.
Yeah, that bottom half, the reflection is blinding. It's so clean.
It is so clean. I have another shot where he's coming towards me, and the underside of the wings look white because the fabric is all polished up. Like, I'm telling you, you could eat on it. It blew my mind.
Before we look at your last picture, another question for you. Any wild or crazy stuff you've seen at all these air shows that you've been to or out there in these environments?
I remember one year at Sun and Fun, we always watch all the departures and hundreds of airplanes. They come and go and come and go every day. And some people stay for multiple days, but they're all shooting off. There's 2 sets of them going off all at the same time. I remember one guy was launching and he just blew his engine. I mean, there was oil and just stuff
my goodness.
everywhere. That was like, whoa, we weren't expecting it, you know? And then last year, Scott and I went up for an air-to-air and we lost a mag in the Mustang. And it's funny because he practiced all the time for emergencies. He's been doing this his whole life. So losing a mag, he immediately knew what to do. And he thought I was going to freak out. And I remember my watch, it showed my heart rate never even went over 100. And I think because I trust him, like I don't go fly with anyone. My dad works for the FAA and I've heard about way too many accidents. And I also am in aircraft salvage. So a lot of airplanes I get are from accidents. And so I don't trust people. So I'm not going to go fly with anyone I don't trust, which is most people. And
What is a mag? Sorry.
Oh, a magneto. Their electric system is magneto. So that's there's 2 of them usually, and the Mustang's got these 2 giant ones, and it keeps all your cylinders firing by the spark plugs. It keeps everything going by a coil inside. So the magneto went out. You have one for one side of the engine, one for the other. The magneto goes out, and it won't run right. He knew right when it happened. I'm like, that sounds like we lost a mag. And he's like, we lost a mag. I'm like, oh shit, we lost a mag. Then I'm going through procedures, my own procedures for bailing in my head, which I didn't think anything was going to happen, but it's just automatic. This is what I pull, you know, he says, bail, bail, bail. He goes, I go out the right side, you know. And then of course, later you hear the story about how there's been no known passengers bailing out of a P-51 to survive, but I'm a passenger. I was like, well, I'm glad we didn't have to bail. Normally you don't bail unless shit's on fire. Fire is normally not good. But it was totally uneventful. We made it back to the airport, but that's pretty
thank
crazy.
Goodness.
Yeah. We were at an air show last week, and when we landed, we lost a tail wheel tire. We're like, oh, that feels weird. He's like, something's going on back there, and it feels like we lost a tire. And I saw the lines dragging. It was a grass runway. You can see the lines of the wheel dragging. So then we had to change that. We always bring spares of everything. So,
well, you're definitely living on the edge for sure.
Yeah. God's not done with me yet, so might as well live it.
Okay. I have one more. I think this might be the one that you're talking about.
Yeah, so I was laying on the runway, and my son actually has a video from his phone, which I turned into a video on my Instagram and on TikTok. And it shows Scott like going and then pulling, and then it shows how far away he was from me. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, are you like freaking out because he's flying at you? And this is not the first time I've done this with him. This is like the shot of trust. I trust him to go foot over my head. And I'd probably trust Tom Richard and maybe a couple other guys, but most people I wouldn't trust to be able to gauge the distance between me and my head and the bottom of their airplane. But with Scott, I was very calm, and I waited and waited and waited until I knew he was close enough where I knew he would probably start to pull away. So I could get him just at the lowest point. He is so close to the ground, and you're almost in ground effect. And you just hear him just like, wah, coming right at you. It's such a like invigorating experience, and I love it. He did it 4 times, and this was a money shot, you know? And if you zoom in on it, I can see his visor looking at me.
He flew by, right? He didn't land with you.
He flew right over me. No, and then a couple of times after that, he came and landed. And I'm not going to be on the runway when he's landing, obviously. It's really cool.
This does feel straight out of an Indiana Jones movie or something like that.
Dad, you're going to have to use a machine gun. Get it ready.
To think that you were the opposing enemy and that is coming at you, you are so dead. The 50 cows coming at you. Oh my God. I'm so glad I'm American. I do not want to be the enemy. It's just mean.
I love the crack of grass in the runway. Just gives a little earthy
Yeah,
feel. You have all the
sure.
campers and the woods and all that stuff.
Yeah. Like it gives the photo texture, you know. That picture is just all the feels. So exciting, but at the same time it's scary because that's what all these men stared at right before they went night night.
Yeah. Well, I think that's all the photos. We're kind of running out of time here.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts? Anything you want to say to people out there that are trying to get into this type of photography?
Find a mentor and find someone that you can connect with that is in the same genre or what you want to do. I have a couple guys, Cardo and Mike and Josh and Kyle, like a bunch of these guys that are like, hey, you need to try this. Especially Ricardo, like this last week was with me at a weekend at Geneseo, and he let me use this 1200 millimeter lens. And if you find someone that you can talk to and say, hey, this is what I really want to do, or be vulnerable with them, be like, I suck at this. How did you learn to do this? It's always easier to learn from someone else. I did ballet for 14 years. I was a professional ballerina. And what you really learned is that peripheral vision with learning how other people are dancing and learning what they're doing. And that kind of goes with learning how to ride a dirt bike and learning how to take pictures is following what other people are doing, but then make it your own. You got to find your own niche and figure out how to release your own. For me, I'm releasing my own angst or my own frustrations. I have a lot of therapy through my photography.
All right. I think that's it. Well, if you're ever in San Diego for the air show, if I'm out in Florida, I'll hit you up sometime. Thank you so much.
Awesome. I will. Thank you. And thank you for having me.
If you don't mind. Oh, yeah. If you don't mind just sticking around here 1 minute, I just want to make sure everything gets uploaded. But yeah,
Okay.
Thank you so much.